Hi friends, today we are going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Biological Classification. So already we completed part 1. So today in this video we will cover part 2. So let's begin with the first question here, which was asked around 2014. Archaebacteria differ from eubacteria in dash. So they are asking us, see, both are prokaryotes, okay? Both are prokaryotes and both are single-celled microorganisms. The main difference between archaebacteria and eubacteria is that archaebacteria are usually found in extreme environmental conditions, whereas eubacteria will be found everywhere in earth. Apart from that, archaebacteria is characterized by having different cell wall components, coenzymes and RNA sequences compared to bacteria. It is believed that they evolved separately from bacteria, and eubacteria, they have a rigid cell wall. However, they can be both gram-positive and gram-negative. So you're given 4 options here. If you clearly look here, you're given 4 options here. Cell membrane, then you have mode of nutrition, cell shape, and the mode of reproduction. Archaebacteria differ from other bacteria and having different cell wall structure. As I already said, eubacteria is found everywhere, while archaebacteria, they are found in extreme conditions also. Okay. So here that's the main difference. Eubacteria is found in all habitat. So if you ask me if can they survive in the extreme conditions, not very much, but they can survive any normal conditions, while archaebacteria, they can even survive in extreme conditions. So obviously it is understood that archaebacteria has a cell wall, that is cell membrane or cell wall, which is very rigid and it can even survive in that particular condition. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option A, cell membrane. Archaebacteria differ from other bacteria in having different cell wall structure. They lack peptidoglycan in cell wall and possess a monolayer of branched fatty acids which are attached to the glycerol. So what happens is here, see, peptidoglycan is a common cell wall component that is present in any bacteria. But this peptidoglycan is replaced by another monolayer of fatty acids, which will give extra protection for the cell wall from getting damaged or from getting getting hurt, or even under unfavorable conditions. The cell wall will maintain its sustenance so that the organism remains fit and survive, and it can maintain the survival condition. So here, the normal ingredient of a cell wall for a bacteria is peptidoglycan. This is replaced with fatty acids, and that is the main difference between archaea and eubacteria. Okay, next question here. The motile bacteria are able to move by dash. Easy question. So you're given 4 options here: Fimbriae, flagella, cilia and pili. So pili, if you see option D, it is usually it's a sex organ. Okay, pili is called a sex organ. Out of the 4 options given here, it is flagella. Fimbriae, it is found in certain organs, but along with that you'll also have flagella. Okay, so flagella is the one which helps in the movement of the bacteria, which makes the bacteria motile. So I would like to give you a picture here. So here you can see the different types of flagella system here. For example, if you take monotrichus, you have a single flagella system here. Right, you find it only at one corner. Now when I say lophotrichus, it is in the same one side, but there are many flagella at one side. When I say peritrichus, you have all over the body, and when I say amphitrichus, they are present in the north and south, or it is in the opposite sides. So this is how the flagella system will be. The correct answer to this question is option B. Okay, next question here. Which one of the following are likely to be present in deep sea water? Okay, we all know that when it comes to sea water, it is rich in saline, that is rich in salt. So it is one of the extreme conditions that a bacteria can survive, right? So an organism is able to survive in such a condition, then it has something special or specific in it, which makes the organism even survive at such horrible conditions. So as we go deep sea water, the atmosphere, everything will change. It's not just the salinity in the water, but everything will change. the amount of oxygen, the amount of carbon dioxide, there might be presence of different gases, but in spite of that, if they are able to sustain, then they have something special in their cell wall. So why is I'm talking about cell wall is that any organism, if you take, the first thing, if any molecule or any compound, if it has to gain entry, the first thing it has to cross through is the cell wall or the cell membrane. If the cell wall or the cell membrane is going to be thick enough and it is strong enough, then I'm sure the organism will be able to survive. And about this I already discussed in the earlier question, the question number 1, where we saw the difference between RK and Eubacteria. Eubacteria is found everywhere in the habitat, while RK bacteria, they are exclusively present in extreme conditions. Sometimes they are present in the normal habitat also. And I told you this RK bacteria has a special, instead of peptidoglycan, they have a special fatty acid which will prevent their cell from damage. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is RK bacteria. They can survive extreme salt, extreme hot springs, marshy areas, but the name that is given is alone different. The ones that can survive salt conditions are halophiles. The one which can survive hot springs are called as thermoacidophiles, and the one which can survive marshy areas are called as methanogens. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option D, RK bacteria. So this is a common structure of bacteria where you have the plasma membrane, cell wall, DNA, flagella, pili. You can see the pili here. It's here, right? So that's the sex organ. You have ribosomes, flagella for movement. So if you see this is called as lophotrichus because at one corner only you have flagella and you have many flagella there. So this is an example of lophotrichus flagella. So moving on to the next question here. Specialized cells for fixing atmospheric nitrogen is nostoc, and what are they basically? Now, before we go into the answer, we shall discuss what is this nostoc. Have you ever heard about this nostoc? Is it a bacteria or algae? Nostoc belongs to the genus of cyanobacteria, and they are found. So which genus do they present? They are attached to cyanobacteria. Okay, and they are found in various environments that forms colonies composed of filaments. Sometimes they even form monocolonies, or sometimes they form gelatinous sheath. The name nostoc was coined by Paracelsus. So who coined the term nostoc was given by Paracelsus. Okay. Nostoc can be found in soil, they can be found in moist rocks, at the bottom of lakes, springs, and sometimes even rarely found in marine habitats. Okay, so what you have to know here is, what is the use of nostoc before we go into the answer? Like most blue-green algae, nostoc also contains two pigments, blue phycocyanin and red phycoerythrin. And it also has chlorophyll in advantage for it. It has the ability to fix nitrogen. Okay, the main important feature is they can fix atmospheric nitrogen in specialized cells called as heterocyst. So this is the answer. So what is this heterocyst? Since they are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen in these specialized features called heterocysts, a terrestrial species can be used as a supplementary food source in Asia. So is nostoc poisonous if you ask me? It's not actually poisonous. The bottom line is that nostoc commune and other mat-forming members of the genus of this particular genus are not toxic. That is why sometimes, at rare cases, they are also used as a supplementary. But the major important thing to be noticed here is heterocyst, which will fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Heterocysts are large-sized, thick-walled specialized cells which occur in the terminal. Either it will be in the terminal or it will be lateral. Okay, it will be laterally present. It can be anyway. So when it comes to a position, now I said lateral, terminal, it depends upon the bacteria. Okay, they have an enzyme nitrogenase and are specialized to perform biological nitrogen fixation. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option B, heterocyst. Next question here. The most abundant prokaryotes helpful to humans in making curd from milk and in production of antibiotics are the ones that are characterized here. So you're given 4 options here. So you have cyanobacteria, archaebacteria, chemosynthetic autotrophs, and heterotrophic bacteria. So out of the 4 options given here, it is obviously not a blue-green algae. and it is not archaebacteria, because archaebacteria is the one which survives in extreme conditions and also found in normal habitat, but not to that extent. So making of curd from milk is not because of archaebacteria, that is for sure. Cyanobacteria, the other name is blue-green algae, and you have many exclusive species like nostoc, volvox and all. So once again, they don't help in making curd. What do you mean by chemosynthetic bacteria or chemosynthetic autotrophs? It is very well understood what the answer is. They can prepare their own food, right? So what do you mean by chemosynthetic? They are bacteria or they are organisms that use organic molecules as their source of energy, and they convert them into organic substances. See, they follow a system where inorganic form will be converted into organic form, and they will use the energy from what they get, they will use it for their self. Unlike plants, obtain the energy from oxidation of inorganic molecules rather than photosynthesis. So it's moreover similar to a plant, because plant, if you see, they absorb energy from the process called photosynthesis. So it's once again inorganic. Here also it is the same scenario where they use inorganic bacteria, inorganic source of energy, and they convert it into an organic source. So what about heterotrophic bacteria? Heterotrophs, they are not able to prepare their own food, right? They are not able to prepare their own food. Heterotrophs are a group of microorganisms. So what all comes under this? If you see, you have yeast, then you have molds, certain molds, then you have even bacteria, where they use an organic so here they are using an organic source. Okay, so this is an organic source. Making curd from milk is an organic source where they use organic carbon as food, and they are found in every type of water. Heterotrophic bacteria also has many practical uses in dealing with many other types of contaminants. So one important use you saw now, making curd from milk. Sometimes they are even seen to contaminate other food sources because of their growth. So examples of heterotrophic bacteria is, we can have green non-sulfur bacteria, purple non-sulfur bacteria, photoheterotroph bacteria, helicobacter. All these are examples of heterotrophic bacteria. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option D, heterotrophic bacteria. And the very important thing to note here is the bacteria which converts the milk to curd is responsible, or the responsibility is given to lactobacillus bacteria, which have the capability to convert the milk into curd. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Next question here, which was asked in the year 2012. The cyanobacteria are also referred to as stash. I think this is a very easy question for you. I just now mentioned even in the earlier question, right? I spoke about cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria has another name. It is also referred to as, yes, it is blue-green algae. They perform oxygenic photosynthesis. They are most successful autotrophic organisms present on the earth. Why they are autotrophic? Because they are not dependent on any source for food. They can prepare their own food. They are the most successful autotrophic organisms on earth, which are found in all types of environment. So their habitat include fresh seawater, marine water, salt, moist areas, damp areas, soil, springs, frozen waters, and so on. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, blue-green algae. Very easy question, right? Next question. How many organisms in the list given below are autotrophs? Okay. So I told you what is autotrophs earlier. They are organisms which will not be dependent on anyone. They will, whatever they need, they will prepare themselves. They don't have to depend on a source. So you're given about 3, 3, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 options there. So how many of you think there are presence of autotrophs? They are organisms which are able to make energy containing organic molecules from inorganic raw materials by using basic sunlight. So out of the options given here, nostoc, okay, mostly algae will come under autotrophs. So nostoc, lactobacillus we just now discussed, it's not autotroph because it depends on an organic source, where it depends on milk for it to get converted into curd. So lactobacillus is not autotroph, it's a heterotroph. Nostoc, Cara, then you have Porphyra, okay, Wolffia, are all photoautotrophs. Okay, so out of the options given here, the correct answer is 6. So what all comes under here? Just count here. You have Nostoc, Cara, then Nitrosomonas. They are all chemoautotrophs. Nitrobacter, then you have Porphyra and Wolffia. So all these are examples of autotrophs. Okay, the only thing, this and this, Nitrobacter and Nitrosomonas are chemoautotrophs. They use an inorganic source, but still they are not dependent on any other source. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Next question here. In eubacteria, a cellular component that resembles eukaryotic cells. So just now I explained about eubacteria. They are bacteria which grow in normal habitats, and they differ from archaebacteria because of the cell membrane, and they are a typical biological cell. They constitute a large domain of prokaryotic microorganisms. They are typically only few micrometers in length. Okay, micrometers in length. Their shapes are usually rods and spirals. Bacteria among the first life forms to appear on Earth. So this is just a brief introduction that I'm giving you about eubacteria. The shapes that they give is rod, it can be spiral, then it can be cocci also. Okay, so since eubacteria is so common, it comprises one of the 3 domains of life. The 3 domains are archaebacteria and eukarya. That is why the name eubacteria. Now, out of the 4 options given here, the correct answer is plasma membrane, because eubacteria are prokaryotic, but eubacteria are enclosed with a plasma membrane, which is also seen in eukaryotes. So nucleus, ribosome, cell wall, all these are not similar to a eukaryote here, because prokaryotes in general, they do not have a proper well-defined nucleus. Ribosomes, once again, not there. Ribosomes is present, while cell wall, if you take once again, cell wall is not present in eukaryotic organisms. Therefore, something that is common for both, if you see, it is the plasma membrane. The correct answer is option A. Next question here. Organisms called as methanogens are most abundant in dash. This is a very easy question for you to understand and to answer. We all know, what do you mean by methanogens first? Methane. We also say biogas, right? Okay, we all tell that. So what is the answer coming to your mind first? See, methanogens are microorganisms that produce methane as their metabolic byproduct. As I already said, methane, which we also use as a biogas. I think by now you'll guess the answer. They are prokaryotic and they belong to the domain archaea. So this biogas, mainly we take it from the cow dung, right, of cattle. So the answer is clear here. Organisms called as methanogens are most abundant in the cattle yard, because from the metabolic waste which comes out from the cattle, we are using it. They have a lot of methane in it. We are using it as biogas. So the correct answer is option B. Okay, and apart from that, you also have paddy fields which will give in a lot of this methanogens. Okay, next question. Bacterial leaf blight of rice is caused by the species dash. Okay, what do you mean by this bacterial leaf blight? It's a disease that is seen in plants. Okay, it is a disease exclusively seen in rice. Bacterial leaf blight is is caused by the species called as Xanthomonas. Mature rice plant will be infected by this bacteria. So what will be the result? How can you identify? Is because of the lesions that you see on the rice. I mean, not on the rice, on the rice plant. Okay, you will see those lesions in the leaf blade, and sometimes eventually it will increase as days go by if you leave it unnoticed. So it will eventually increase in length and with becoming yellow, and sometimes it will even change to an extreme color of grayish. So bacterial leaf blight of rice is caused by the species of Xanthomonas. Okay, so the correct answer is option A. So the extreme condition, if you leave it unnoticed and you don't rectify it, there are chances for the whole plant to get destroyed. Okay, they'll become yellow to grayish white until the entire leaf will dry up. Okay, next question here. in the light of recent classification of living organisms into 3 domains of life. So what are the 3 domains? Bacteria, archaea and eukarya. Which one of the following statements is true about archaebacteria? Okay, so we'll go one by one. Okay, archaea resemble eukarya in all respects. Archaea have some novel features that are absent in other prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Archaea completely differ from prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Archaea completely differ from prokaryotes. So I already explained about this in the first question. There is a major difference between archaea and eubacteria. When we talk about this, there is one thing special in them, and that is the cell membrane or the cell wall. All prokaryotes will have peptidoglycan, and this one will have fatty acids in their cell wall membrane. So archaebacteria will have something novel, or you call it as novel features, that will be absent in prokaryotes but present and also absent in eukaryotes. So archaebacteria, they remain unique. The correct answer is option B. That is why, due to the presence of these fatty acids, okay, fatty acids, they can survive extreme conditions. Very important here. They can survive extreme conditions. As we already saw in the earlier questions, the conditions which even in salty conditions, there are bacteria who can survive, and they are called as halophiles. The one which can survive high methane condition, it's called methanogens. The one which can survive extreme acid condition, acidophiles. So you have different names for them, but all these bacteria will come under archaebacteria only. They are unique because of this particular feature that is present in their cell membrane. Now moving on to the next question here. Thermococcus. Okay, we have Thermococcus, Methanococcus and Methanobacterium exemplify what? So this question was asked in the year 2008. Okay, you're given 4 options here. We'll go one option by option. Archaebacteria that contain protein homologous to eukaryotic core histones. Okay, archaebacteria that lack many histones resembling those found in eukaryotes but whose DNA is negatively supercoiled. No. See, Thermococcus, Methanococcus and Methanobacterium, they exemplify archaebacteria. They contain a protein. Okay, they too contain a protein which is called as histone. Okay, histone, and this protein, if you see, which I'm talking about, histone especially, they contain protein homologous to eukaryotic core histones. The correct answer is option A. So what do you mean by histone? It's a protein, we all know that. Any other thing that you can explain about histones? See, histones are highly alkaline proteins that are found exclusively in eukaryotic cells, and they help in the package and order the DNA into structural units called as nucleosomes. So what is their function? So they form nucleosomes. So in eukaryotes, their function is to structure and arrange, and they form nucleosomes. Likewise, these proteins are also found in archaebacteria. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option A. Next question here. Which one of the following statement about mycoplasma is wrong? Okay, you're given 4 options here now. They are pleomorphic, they are sensitive to penicillin, they cause disease in plants, and they are also called as PPLO. So what is mycoplasma? Let's discuss that first. See, mycoplasma is seen to cause many infections in mammals, and this belongs to a genus of bacteria. What do they lack in? They lack in cell wall. Okay, they lack in cell wall. Major thing, they lack in cell wall around their cell membranes. Their characteristic makes them naturally resistant to antibiotics. So since they lack cell walls, they make them very resistant, it seems. How? See, we have antibiotics, we all know that. When we talk about antibiotics, their main target is to attack the cell wall. That is how all medicines will work. Since this mycoplasma is having, or it's lacking cell wall, antibiotics do not work for them. Why is the antibiotics working on cell wall? If you see, only when they are able to penetrate into the organism, we can kill the organism. That is why the antibiotics are designed in a way that they will penetrate, they will destroy the cell wall and enter into the organism. Since mycoplasma doesn't have a cell wall, entry to them will become more difficult, and therefore this makes them a resistant feature among mycoplasma. So what is the answer you think will be here? The correct answer is they are sensitive to penicillin. While working at the Rockefeller, I'll give you the solution. While working at the Rockefeller Institute, Brown reported an isolation of PPLO. What you mean by PPLO? It's a pleomorphic system. Now can you recall? See, the full form is PPLO. LO is a mycoplasma resistant to antibiotics, and the full form is pleomorphic. The meaning is pleomorphic. Okay, pleuropneumonia like organism. So what is the full form here? Okay, pneumonia like organisms. Okay, that is the full form of PPLO. So here, if you see, while investigating or while doing a research in 1949, reported to the 7th International Rheumatology Congress the isolation of PPLO from the genito. Okay, that is from the urinary tract of men afflicted with arthritis. What do you mean by arthritis? The disease that is caused in the joints of a human. In discussing the significance of this observation, Brown reported a successful treatment for arthritic patients with a new antibiotic called as aromycin. So this particular mycoplasma, which is wrong, if you see, they are pleomorphic, they cause disease in plants, they are also called as PPLO. The one thing that is wrong about them is they are not sensitive to penicillin. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Okay, next question here. In which of the animals dimorphic nucleus is formed? What do you mean by dimorphic? Di means two. I have given you an hint here. Dimorphic nucleus. Okay, so this nucleus can be, since it has two, the sexually dimorphic nucleus. Sometimes you even call it as SDN, sexually dimorphic nucleus. Now, when we talk about dimorphic nucleus in common, they are a densely packed cluster of large cells located in the POA. What do you mean by POA? So it is called as POA. Okay, so it is also called as prophylactic area of the hypothalamus, which is believed to be related to the sexual behavior of the animals. So which animal does not, in which of the animals dimorphic nucleus is found is the question here. So out of the four options given here, the correct answer is paramecium, which is option D. Paramecium has two types of nucleus, a larger one and a smaller one. So the larger macromolecule and the smaller micromolecule. So this part, as I already said, it is responsible to induce those characteristics, the sexual characteristic in animal. It is because of this. So where it is exclusively present, if you see, hypothalamus. Okay. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, paramecium caudatum. Okay. Next question here. The most truly studied or the most thoroughly studied fact of the known bacterial plant interaction is the dash. So this is a standard question here. You just need to know the answer here. The one which is studied closely is the gall formation of certain angiosperms from Agrobacterium. So you must have heard about this in your classes or in your other studies. You would have commonly heard about this Agrobacterium tumefaciens, right? The gall formation. What does this gall formation do? Have you ever thought about it? See, Agrobacterium tumefaciens are the ones which forms gall in their roots. Okay. So this is a very commonly studied one, and we have all studies about it. Agrobacterium tumefaciens is a causal agent of crown gall disease. So what does it cause? It causes crown gall disease. Okay. Okay, it causes crown gall disease. Over 140 species have been so far found. It's a rod-shaped gram-negative soil bacterium, and it's a highly studied one. So here they've asked thoroughly studied, thoroughly or highly, whatever. Till now we have up-to-date information about it. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option B, called formation on certain angiosperms by Agrobacterium. This is a common one. The genus is Agrobacterium, but most exclusively studied is Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Okay, so with this we complete the biological classification part 2 video. Hope to meet you with the same chapter with a different part. Thank you.